Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Joe Gaither. I'm the host of the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central, and most of you guys know me because we talk sports 5 days a week. But we're not here to talk about sports. Yes, I know it's football season, and that is really, really exciting in the area. But it's also election season here in Northport, and we want to encourage you guys to get out and vote August 26th in the Northport Municipal Elections. And so we've already been talking to the candidates for City Council, and now it's time to get to know our mayoral candidates. And today I'm very blessed to be joined by Jason Barksdale running for your Northport mayor. Get out and vote on August 26th. Mr. Barksdale, thank you so much for
Thank you,
joining me.
man. I appreciate you having us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yes, sir. I'd really appreciate you giving us some of your time. I know you're very busy and coming off from, probably mowing lawns and weed eating today. Just to sort of, I'll just right into it and ask you what your background is in Northport and kind of just what your ties are
Yeah.
to the community.
46 years old, born and raised here my whole life here in Tuscaloosa. We live right up the road, Bristol Park. My wife's Kim. We have kids, two kids that are still in school. I've worked at Pfeiffer Wire for a couple of years, and I went to BF Goodrich for a couple of years, and I went to Mercedes Benz for 17 years. So I'm proud to say that I am not a politician. I am a blue collar worker, and that's who I am. And then obviously I've had my lawn and landscaping business for probably in my 20s. So I've always worked two jobs, shift work, and then do that on the side. And now it's full time, and I'm just a worker.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I'll just ask you, how do you think that these experiences working in many jobs around town and obviously working for yourself in the landscaping business gives you really insight to the city?
Well, I've connected with a lot of people over the years of obviously working in factories. I look at myself as a people person. Um, I can connect with people, and I think I'm a good listener. And you have to be a good listener if you're going to be a mayor. So I think that has its advantages, especially the role of a mayor, like a town, a city like Northport.
Absolutely. You're running for mayor, and you guys can vote on August 26th. You're running to replace the appointed Dr. John Hinton, who stepped in after Danny Higdon stepped down. Just what do you think about those two men and the job that they did in the last in the last term, the last mayoral term?
I respect Dr. Hinton because he didn't run for mayor. He didn't run for mayor. So when they had when Mayor Hernan stepped down,
Mhm.
he obviously got replaced him. They I respect someone that wants to serve their city, and Dr. Hinton is a stand-up guy. And the previous mayor, Mayor Herndon, obviously is a servant. He's always doing something for Northport and for people, whether it's storm storm affected people, donating, whatever. So he also has a big heart too that wants to help people, and I respect both of them.
Well, Mr. Barstow, what do you think are some of the biggest issues that are facing Northport? I live in District 1 and I've lived here since 2020. And what do you think are some of the reason I'm doing this really is what I've seen online over the last year and change. I haven't really been plugged into Northport as
Right,
far as public facing. It's just been sports and my home.
right.
What do you think is are some of the biggest issues that are facing our city?
I think Northport's at a crossroad. I think they have this election. We have a choice. Do we want to take the next step and grow, or do we want to just stay kind of stagnant? Because I don't know if you're married or not, but I talk to people with or without kids, and they're starving for things to do. It can be anything from a sit down restaurant, outdoor entertainment. I mean, instead of staying here in Northport, they're going to have to go to Tuscaloosa. They may have to go to McCalla, Hoover, or what have you.
Yep.
I just feel this is a great time for Northport. And I'm not saying take a 1 mile leap, baby steps if you have to.
Sure.
But to have revenue, you have to have some sort of growth because revenue equals resources.
Yes.
So, but then I talked to, let's say a retired couple that my neighbors. They're like, Jason, we just wish we had somewhere closer to go eat. And it's the same old, same old. I think people are starving for things to do.
Yeah. Well, let's just get into maybe the biggest thing to do that's kind of on the horizon. We hear all kinds of talk about University Beach, and really,
Yes.
once I've gotten into this, I was confused. What's it going to be? Is it going to be a water park? Is it going to be a lagoon? Is it going to be a development? Is it going to be what? Where do you stand on University Beach? How do you feel about the way it's been handled, and what is probably on the horizon, Northport, in that area?
As a mayor, firmly believe it's my job to promote a city. And sometimes you have to play the hand you're dealt.
Mhm.
I didn't have not have a vote in this. None of the other mayors that are running for this had nothing to do with this. I'm not going to make promises I can't keep. It is my job. I'm not going to pull for or root for a project or any small business to fail. My job is to help a city grow and thrive. That's I'm not I'm not going to be negative. I've got to be. You have to be positive when it comes to your city on everything.
Absolutely, and so we'll see how that kind of plays out. You're talking about things to do, economic growth. You're kind of leading us right into the next question. Restaurants. What do you think Northport needs? So you said not a mile, but maybe a baby step. What are some baby steps forward that Northport can take to grow and be better?
I mean, I think one of the biggest assets for Northport is the Black Warrior River. I really do. And I'm not saying go down there and just rip out everything and let's build. Start off with a park with maybe some turf and a place where maybe food trucks can come up. You can walk your dog. And then the next thing you know, there's a sit down restaurant. People love to look at water. Lake Tuscaloosa, Black Warrior River, the Gulf of America. I can go on and on. But why? There's not even like Cypress Inn. Cypress Inn's not there anymore. It's closed. Why can't we put like people laugh, a tacky jacks or something on the water and utilize the Black Warrior River? And I understand, with River Run Park, that's going to be awesome. So hopefully, and that's along the Black Warrior River, but hopefully that can spin things off where it's hotels, sit down restaurants, and you being a sports guy, football season. Well, River Run is right by an airport.
Hmm.
We are the best conference in college football. You agree?
Agreed.
So you have Alabama versus Texas in Tuscaloosa or A&M.
They fill that airport
They're going to
up.
fly in. Well, let's say they Uber from there to downtown Tuscaloosa. Well, what happens if there's a hotel or two out by River Run? Hopefully there will be, or a sit-down restaurant. You go to the game. It's a 11 a.m. game, so you're back early. You Uber back. You got to eat somewhere, and you got to stay somewhere. Why not capitalize not on Tuscaloosa, but capitalize on the football season that happens in Tuscaloosa and win-win on the way back? I mean, it's all kind of, you got to think outside the box without being unrealistic as well.
Well, Tuscaloosa already brings in, as you said, 100,000 people on 7 Saturdays a year. I live in District 1. It takes me about 10 minutes to get over there. I think that there's plenty of room to use them
Sure.
to be responsible and grow as well.
That's right.
If I can stay in a hotel and not get back over into the madness that is Tuscaloosa sometimes, the game days on the strip.
Sure.
Woo! I think that's a great start here. You mentioned River Run Park,
Right.
And it opens on Saturday, and I'm going to put these out Saturday morning of the opening because
Okay.
I'm going to be talking to Mr. Lewis as well today. And I already spoke to the previous 2 candidates, so it's basically opening today. Everybody, get out to River Run Park.
Yes.
What do you think about the project, and what do you think it means to Northport, and what do you think it will do for
I
Northport?
think River Run's a game changer. I do. And the previous council, and it might have went back before that. That's something they should be proud of. I mean, like I say earlier, there's so many things that could spin off just that one development,
Mhm.
and you take a baby step here, a baby step there, and then the next thing you know, you're bringing in revenue, and without revenue, you don't have the resources. So I think it's going to be a game changer. I do, and I think Northport should be excited about it.
Well, I hope that everybody gets out there on Saturday. Going to be a lot of activities. I guess today we're recording on Friday, but
Right.
on Saturday, going to be a lot of activities out there. So get out there if you're a ball player, if you have a kid that's a ball player or not. I think there's a drone show and all kinds of stuff going on.
Giveaways. I think there's like 1,000 or something giveaways. It's going to be pretty cool.
Absolutely. So we hope to see you all out there. Let's talk about a big issue that it kind of goes back to University Beach, but it's an issue as a whole. When I read online people's complaints with the city, is transparency, or we don't know what's going on in the city, or we don't feel like we're heard. You mentioned the role of a Northport mayor being a kind of PR
Right.
and forward facing. How do you think you as the mayor will help to increase maybe the transparency or the communication between the citizen and
Right.
city hall?
All right. So a city administrator, which I love having a city administrator because that gives you flexibility not to be a mayor behind a desk.
Mhm.
A mayor needs to be out, talk. I mean, I was just down at some local businesses that affect me with my business, talking to them. But you have to be out listening. The biggest thing a mayor needs to do, in my opinion, is listening, communication, open communication, and when you say transparency, I'm all for like all meetings if they're live streamed. I mean, you shouldn't have anything to hide. So just you got to be open with your citizens.
I think that's a great answer. I've asked a lot of the candidates I've already spoken to today to really define Northport, because a lot of people, when I say, and it goes back to, I'm sorry, the University Beach topic, is this doesn't fit Northport. This isn't us. So given your background and how much you've worked and lived in the city, what does Northport mean to you? How would you define the city of Northport and what it is, what its roots are at the
I
whole?
think Northport is a blue collar working class, and small businesses and blue collar workers like myself built Northport, and I respect that. No one's wanted to come here and just change everybody's quality of life, but when you have small families that move into Northport, I want them to be able to raise their kids here, worship here, work here, and live their life and have things to do for them.
Mhm.
And I don't think that's too much to ask for a city. I mean, again, even if it's baby steps.
Tell me about Tacky Jacks. I've never heard of that. I heard that on Tuesday night at your.
It's a place on in Orange Beach. It's on the bay, overlooking the bay. But like Tennessee always brings their yachts up the Black Warrior River. I mean, I could just picture it on Northport side, and game day against Tennessee, and people coming down and going back and forth. Sometimes you have to think outside the box and capitalize on other people's events. And Northport and Tuscaloosa is just a bridge away. So
I think that sounds cool. I had never heard. I heard it on Tuesday night when you brought
I
it
know
up.
everybody's gonna be like, well, we'll never be able to get in there during football season and what have you. Okay, then you make the money off the students, and then in the summertime or in hot when they're gone, then the locals can come. I think it could be a win-win. But that's just everybody has a wish list.
Sure.
That's just something I've just always envisioned on the Black Warrior River,
Uh,
an entertainment district.
I think an eatery that you could pull up on your boat, whether it is Tacky Jacks or something in that realm, sounds pretty cool.
A food truck park. I mean, it could be all kind of outdoor entertainment for a family.
I think that's a pretty strong idea. What do you think about the role of the Northport mayor in supporting local existing businesses that are
Yes.
already here that we spend our time and are in Northport? What do you think about?
100%. I agree. If you're going to offer an incentive for a new business, you have to do something for the businesses that have been here for 10, 15, 20 years. You have to, because then they could be sitting back thinking, "Daggum, they're getting this incentive. What can I do? I mean, what do I get?" And that's whether it could be grants, it could be funding. I mean, it could be several issues, but you have to consider that because businesses that have been here the longest, they deserve something too.
I mean, they're the ones who,
That's right.
the heartbeat, really.
Sure, that's right.
Absolutely. One of your listing here, I support first responders, small business, and responsible growth. We talked a
Yes.
little about small business, and we're kind of dancing and really talking about responsible growth. But what ways do you want to support first responders, our firemen, our police officers, our EMS drivers?
I'm big on first responders, and here's why. You get to sleep at night. I get to sleep at night. You might have to sleep in the daytime, depending if you're a shift worker. Without police and firefighters and first responders, you can't have safe neighborhoods. I like to sleep at night
I do too.
peacefully.
Yes.
And if my house catches on fire or if someone's breaking in my house, yes, I'm going to protect my family. But the first person I'm going to call is the fire department if my house catches on fire. If my mom or my dad fall, which they're not elderly, but they're older, if I'm going to call I'm going to call the ambulance. And if someone's breaking in, I'm going to call the police.
Yep.
So I believe that a firefighter or a police officer, the departments, they should always have what they need to serve our community. I mean, they put their life on the line every day. So, I mean, that's a big deal because I wouldn't go into a burning building. I mean, I wouldn't. I guess I would. I'll say I wouldn't, but they're trained. I respect them, and they should be looked at as heroes, to be honest.
I agree with you. It's a big, big ask to go into danger rather than sit back and
that's right.
You see danger and go right into it. Whew, brave men and women, absolutely. We're talking to Jason Barksdale, candidate for the mayor election right here in Northport. We want to encourage everybody to get out on August 26th. Find your polling location. Get to the polls. We had poor turnout in the last local election, and I think that it's very important that everybody gets out and makes their voice known with their vote. Let's just continue here, Mr. Barksdale, about education. Everybody sees online, oh, we need to do more for our kids, and our schools are X or Y, or just negativity about the way the education is in really everywhere. But we're talking about Northport here. What do you think of, or how do you respond when you see people say, "Oh, we got to do more for our kids. We got to support our schools"?
Well, obviously, which we've already discussed this before we went on the air. Northport does not have a city school system.
Yep.
They're ran by the County Board of Education. So I am the only candidate so far. I am pledging my first year's mayoral salary to donate 100% of it back to the local schools that are in the city limits of Northport. I think the number was at the forum last night. The other night was there's like 300,000 or
350,000 is what I've been told a bunch of times.
And I understand that that's two separate entities.
Yeah.
But I have no problem giving back to schools because I'm a firm believer in good schools equals good neighborhoods, and we should do our part.
Are your kids in school in one of the 10 schools?
Northport Intermediate.
Awesome.
So they've went up through that way, and there's a lot of great principals out there, but I've been fortunate enough to meet the ones that he's in, and so the reason I want to give back is because I have a hard time with when a school teacher has to pay out of pocket for erasers, copy paper. I mean, that bothers me.
Absolutely. I think you support the kids, support education. Economic growth happens. People want to stay. Right. People want to come.
Good schools equals good neighborhoods.
Absolutely. You mentioned your wife right at the beginning of our discussion here. What's your wife think about you running for mayor?
My wife, obviously, I did not do this without her full support of 110%. And so we talked about it. People reached out to me, and we were out riding the golf cart because that's what we do in the evening for our downtime. And she says, Jason, we can't go anywhere without someone talking to you and asking you this, asking you that, and which that's a good thing. So we slept on it, and it got down to that Monday. I think that there was a Tuesday right there that was the deadline where you had to go to City Hall to qualify. And she told me, she said, Jason, if this is something that you want to do, she said, I support you, go do it. But you don't just wake up and say, hey, I want to run for mayor. I want to do something. I want to be able to say I made a difference. I'm in the service industry. I am. And I'm a firm believer, even if you're a councilman, councilwoman, or a mayor, you should be in the service industry because we should be public servants.
Yeah.
Do whatever we can within our power to help our city.
Well, if you're elected on August 26th, please get out there. If you're elected, where do you see Northport at the end of your 4-year term?
I hope Northport is more unified.
Or 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
4.
Yeah.
I would hope we're not as divided, because if I'm elected mayor, the first thing I want to do is earn the respect from the council, the employees inside the city, and I'm talking about city hall, public works, everywhere. Learn everything I can about how the city operates and earn the respect by listening to the most important people, the citizens.
We've talked about economic growth a little bit. We've talked about University Beach, just a little bit about the school systems as well, and really River Run Park. I'm excited to see everybody on Saturday. What do you think that is something that, I wish we would have talked about that, or we should talk about X or Y or Z, something else on the table that you think, we didn't get to this yet?
I'm thinking. So you put me on the spot. I think we've covered pretty much. We've covered a lot here.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to cut you off. I didn't want to just say, you didn't want you walking out and thinking, "Dang it."
I would like for people to understand if they have a question. Not just, I would think every candidate, reach out to them. I'm an open book. I don't care if I'm at Lowe's. You can. I've got a Facebook page. My email's out there. My number. If you have a question, but instead of assuming, just ask. Just ask, because we should be able to, as adults, we should be able to respectfully sometimes agree to disagree.
Sure.
I mean, you might have a view of something and I might be totally opposite, but we should be able to talk about it as adults.
I think that's very strong. I think in the age of the internet age and the social media age, there's a lot of he said this, he meant that, and she said that, and she did that without communicating.
Correct.
Yeah. We've been talking to Jason Barksdale. He's one of the candidates for mayor, and you can vote for him on August 26th. I encourage you to find your polling locations and get out there. I don't want to cut anything else off, but if there's anything that you want to say or leave you with the last word here, I'll just open the space for you to address your maybe future constituents.
First of all, I appreciate everyone that's reached out. And again, I want to reiterate, if you have a question, I'm easy to find. Email, text, call, and I'll try to be an open book. So I appreciate you having me. I've enjoyed it. I'm used to hearing you on Tide 100.9, like I told you, but again, thanks for interviewing all of us, because you've stepped out of your comfort zone too. So
yeah, usually I'm in the sports world, and some people are like, "You didn't ask this," and I'm like, "Well, I didn't know to," or "This candidate lied to you," I said, "Well, I didn't know that. I'm just trying to raise the awareness of I heard 14% was the voter tally at the last. I've heard 14, I've heard 18, I've heard 20% voter tally in the last Northport election, and I thought, man, that's just not acceptable.
Yeah, and also, like you usually ask, can you say something positive?
Yeah, please. You got some candidates.
I'm going to say this, and I really mean this. From Dale, Roland, Mr. Crawford, I've met them a couple of times now. They've all been easy to talk to, cordial. I have no ill will toward any of them, and I actually wish them the best of luck. And if I've talked to them, like I said, I've talked to them, and I have nothing bad to say or ill will. They've all been cordial to me. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Saturday at River Run Park. What's the strategy when you look at a yard? We'll just get you look at you get called for a land.
I hope it's flat first.
I got to cut my grass this weekend, so maybe I'll do that. He's Jason Barksdale, and he's one of your candidates for Northport Mayor. I hope you all get out to vote on August 26th. Please, please, please go find your polling location and consider casting your votes in the Northport election. Mr. Barksdale, thanks so much for joining me. Absolutely.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Perfect.